I'm Clyde Lewis, and welcome to Ground Zero Behind the Scenes. Today, it's kind of a quiet day. Why? The occupation is uprooted, the encampment's been shut down, and everybody in their Darth Vader costumes are standing guard out in front. This is what a police state looks like, and this is what we need to address, and that is the overall, I guess you could say, opinion of the movement. The overall opinion of the movement. I took calls at random on a show yesterday. It was a special Ground Zero that I hosted on KXL. Many of the calls were saying that they just didn't like the way they acted. They didn't like their behavior. They didn't like the way they looked. And so I guess I can come to the idea or the conclusion that the Occupy movement was just too ugly for the American people to handle. They didn't want to see in their backyard the ugliness of poverty. They didn't want to see the high cost of Mammon, and that's exactly what's happening in this country. We no longer can afford to be greedy. We no longer can afford to live. You see this dollar right here? To Americans, this dollar bill is just that. It's a dollar bill. They look at it as their mode of currency, and they say, hey, it's worth something. But you know what? This dollar bill can't buy much. I mean, if you want to go buy a soda, you have to pay $1 plus another 75 cents. If you want to get gum or a candy bar, sometimes you have to pay $1 and a little extra for taxes. This dollar bill is not, it just doesn't have the worth it used to. And it's a slow growing process of learning that your dollar bills don't buy anything anymore. You listen to all the other markets falling apart. You listen to the euro losing its value. You hear people that say, I can't afford to live anymore. You see, many of us are going to take a look at this dollar one day, and the next day we're going to say it's as worthless as a penny. And the reason why is because it's slowly losing its value as we spend it, and how we are like frogs in a pot of water that's heating up slowly, and eventually we won't know to jump out of the way and to prepare. Most people need to understand that in order for us to be prepared and do something, we need to have something set aside to prepare us for when this currency is completely worthless. And that is, I believe, you need to invest in things that have worth. Invest in things that you can keep in a safe box somewhere that no one can touch, out of the banks, and that way you won't end up like those who are in the encampment. This is what you were seeing with the encampment. You're seeing the future. And so prepare for the future so that you can avoid the ugliness that everybody talked about with the encampment and the occupation. I'm Clyde Lewis, and this is Ground Zero Behind the Scenes.